ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्य स्थाने। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Okay, we'll continue reading this one. Yukta Vairagya, an enlightened way to deal with the world. Even sincere sadhakas must know how to deal with the world around them if they wish to evade avoidable disturbances. Many devotees have failed in their spiritual practices because they did not understand this secret. While devotees still live in the material world, they must take help from the material body and mind. Engaging these faculties in spiritual advancement is called Yukta Vairagya, literally connected renunciation. Devotees know that if they ignore either the mind or the body, these faculties will become unnecessarily disturbed and they will be unable to practice spiritual life properly. A weak body often generates a weak mind. At least for beginners, it is necessary to have physical, emotional, and social well being. To create such well being, devotees intelligently accept from this world whatever is favorable for their spiritual advancement. By intelligent, I mean that devotees learn to be neither too austere nor too sensuous, because both these attitudes have the potential to break their concentration on Krishna and to unnecessarily upset the mind. In the 27th chapter of the 11th canto, Lord Krishna gives an appropriate example to illustrate the principle of Yukta Vairagya. An expert horseman, desiring to tame a headstrong horse, first lets the horse have his way for a moment and then, pulling the reins, gradually places the horse on the right path. In much the same way, the yogi carefully observes the moments and desires of the mind and gradually brings it under full control. Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 20th chapter, verse 21. Letting thy brother, thy brothers as or his ox. Deuteronomy 22:4. Sometimes having the long line could mean, for example, relaxing with good spiritual friends, laughing, crying, and joking, going for a swim, eating nice prasad, and so on. But beware aspiring transcendentalist, because the mind is by nature unsteady and likes to wander, just as a headstrong horse may suddenly break free of our control and cause damage. One way to steady the mind is to become aware of the fleeting nature of everything in this world. In effect, one can say to the mind, see, brother mind, everything here is born and will die. You will never be able to catch and hold the infatuation you currently feel. If you try, you will only be frustrated. The past is something you cannot retrieve, and the future is inaccessible to you. So please give up all the material illusions and attachments that have been generated over time and act now in Krishna consciousness. Yukta Vairagya can also be translated as appropriate renunciation. Why? If we were to follow the literal meaning of Kirtaniya Sadahari, chant constantly, we would attempt to give up everything else, such as sleeping and maintaining the body. But such renunciation would not be appropriate because it would end our physical existence sooner rather than later. Both Lord Brahma and Bhaktivinoda Thakur advise us, therefore, to remain in our natural position and to make our living by using our inherent talents and qualities. This is the easiest way to maintain the body as a vehicle for spiritual practice. Slowly, as we become more purified, we can then try to increase our spiritual practice as advised in the chapter Two Types of Chanters. Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur summarizes appropriate renunciation or attachment in his comment on Vajana Rahasya 2.40. Accept the kind of work necessary for keeping yourself alive without engaging in gossip. Do not work for the sake of pleasing the senses. Act in such a way that your powers of speech and thought are healthy and that you do not lose your commitment to appropriate renunciation. How to engage even the conditioned soul's six enemies to help one make spiritual advancement will be discussed in Appendix A. When beginning a journey, it is good to first gain an overview of the landmarks one will pass. Later, when one is familiar with them, it becomes more important to look at a detailed map of the area. Relating this to chanting, those who wish to unlock the divine secrets of the name should first gain an overall perspective, see the greater picture, so to speak. The right perspective, an important truth. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur points out that from the very beginning, the chanter needs to have the right understanding of the spiritual or unearthly nature of the holy name. Even before entering the field of Nama Bhajana, one should first know for certain that Krishna's form, Krishna's name, Krishna's service, and Krishna's servants are all eternally free. That is, they are beyond the grasp of Maya, the illusory energy. Krishna, his transcendental abode, and his paraphernalia are totally beyond material imagination. Similarly, his throne, his rooms, gardens, forest, Govardhan Hill, and the river Yamuna. In fact, everything about Krishna cannot be touched by Maya. It is especially important to remember that this transcendental nature of Lord Krishna when we approach his service, of which chanting his holy name is foremost. This understanding is not based on blind belief but on absolute and eternal truth. Sri Chaitanya Siksha Smrita, Siksha Amrita, sixth rainfall, third hour. Knowledge of Krishna, his divine associates, their world, and how to engage in service there come to us through the pure heart of realized devotees who either have both feet on the transcendental platform or one foot there and one foot here. The second type of realized devotee can perceive the divine reality with his spiritual eyes, heart, and other senses. By coming in contact with such devotees and listening to them, seeing them, or reading their writings, sparks of realization fly from their heart fires into our hearts and light the fire of our own transcendental realization. This fire will burn our material misconceptions to ashes. So let's stop here, Prabhuji. Okay, so I'll just summarize uh, what we learned today about Yukta Vairagya. Like it's the renunciation. Oh, Yukta Vairagya, we have read in many scriptures, like um, we have to, like, simultaneously we have to attach and detach also. Like we do something, let's say in material world we work, we have to do our job, we do our job, but we should not be attached to our job. We earn money and we have to use that money for Krishna service. So this is called Yukta Vairagya. Simultaneously we are attached and we are not even attached, we are detached also at the same time. So we, in that way we can will just maintain our body so that we can use it in Krishna service. And the second thing, we see how everything related to Krishna is not touched by Maya. Everything is transcendental. We have learned that Krishna Surya Shama Maya hoy andhakar, jaha Krishna taha nahi Mayara adhikar. So if Krishna is compared to the sun, and Maya always stays at the back side of Krishna. If we surrender ourselves to Krishna, we are always in front of Krishna. Maya cannot touch us. So if we are in, like we are in Krishna's service, then there is no place for Maya in that scenario. So we have to always surrender ourselves to Krishna, use our body and mind in Krishna service. We see how beautifully it is explained that very difficult to control the mind. It's related to a very powerful horse, and even in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6, beautiful. There is beautiful explanation between Lord Krishna and Arjuna. How Arjuna is saying, even I can control the wind, but it's very difficult to control the mind. And Lord Krishna suggests there to Arjuna, yes, you're right. It's difficult, no doubt. It's very difficult to control the mind, but it's possible to control. How? By practice. If we'll practice to control our mind, we can control it and we can use it in Krishna